For a long stretch in time, Tufts was just a below-average team going 500 or worse. But those guys, they fell in love with the program, fell in love with Coach Daly, and they built the foundation for success that the team began to experience in 2008, 2009, 2010, and going forward up to now.
What matters is our sticks on their hands, working twice as hard off ball as we are on ball. Certainly a big part of our program, and the guys in our team are built on a philosophy of recruiting guys who are lacrosse junkies.
You can't find them on Jumbo's Lax TV. You can't look up their records. It's the guys who are truly the nobodies from nowhere that built this program through their guts, through their hard work, and gave us really all the opportunities that we have today.
Those are the type of guys that we talk about more than any other guy in our program. The guys that started the culture of working hard, wanting it more. It's pretty awesome now that we have a coach and Coach D'Onofrio who's around when this sort of culture was being instilled. Honestly, you can see how it's maintained throughout and how it's helped us get where we are today.
You want to read too?
Okay, ready. What is?
That's Mommy Pig.
What is?
It's Daddy Pig.
Back when I first started playing lacrosse at Tufts, it was guys that loved playing lacrosse, but lacrosse was not their top priority.
Is today a red sweats kind of day?
There just wasn't quite as much buy-in. You had these split allegiances between lacrosse, other sports, multiple fraternities. You know, we had never competed for a NESCAC championship. We had never made NCAAs. We had never contemplated what competing for a national championship even looked like.
Hey, can I have a hug and a kiss, little girl?
We did our best to make it feel like big-time lacrosse, but there were definitely some shortcomings. Because we didn't have turf until 2005, you know, we used to take the 15-passenger vans over to MIT and practice on MIT's AstroTurf at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we get stuck on the traffic on Mass Ave on the way back, and guys would be late for class. We'd practice in the Gantry Center in tight quarters because we couldn't get outside onto the turf. But yeah, I mean, you had that blue-collar mentality. It didn't matter where you were gonna play a team. It didn't matter when you were gonna play them. We were gonna be there. We were gonna show up. We were gonna be as tough as we possibly could. We'd play teams in a parking lot if we had to. We didn't care. By my junior year into my senior year, guys stopped going abroad because they wanted to focus more on lacrosse. Guys stopped rushing fraternities because they wanted to spend more time training, and they felt like lacrosse was their fraternity.
So that's me in the middle, 33, and that's all of my classmates. Those are my senior class, 2006. One of the cool things about that senior class, if you sort of look back, is that was one of the first classes of just guys that were really focused on playing lacrosse. You know, just guys that were actually recruited to play lacrosse, were really talented high school lacrosse players, and, you know, really came in and started to, you know, change the culture of, you know, okay, lacrosse is, you know, this is something that we do here. This is the thing that we do here, and not just, okay, I'm going to recruit to play lacrosse, I'm going to play lacrosse, but I'm also going to be in a fraternity, I'm also going to do all these other things. So those were some of the guys that really started to change that culture a little bit.
Every year after that, we got a little bit better, we got a little bit more talented, we got a little bit more focused, and we started working in that direction of competing for a national championship.
Here to present our final Hall of Fame honor for the evening is a Jumbo alum who earned varsity letters in 3 sports before graduating from Tufts in 2006. And for the last 2 years, he has been the head coach of the Jumbo men's lacrosse team. Please welcome Casey D'Onofrio.
Led by returning All-Americans DJ Hessler and Eitan Saperstein, the 2010 Jumbos won their first 10 games that season, the best start and longest winning streak in the team's history. In the 11th game that year, the Jumbos lost to fellow unbeaten Conn College. It was a disappointing loss for certain, but it was also a powerful motivator, and as it turned out, the final loss of that season. They finished their season with a 20-1 record and won the first NCAA team championship in the history of Tufts athletics. We invite everyone from that team up to the stage now as we induct the national champion 2010 men's lacrosse team into the Tufts Athletic Hall of Fame.
Muhammad Ali once said, "Don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Today, that statement could not be more appropriate because as I was walking in tonight, I was transported back 8 years ago to the memory of practicing for our conditioning test, running 300s right next door in the cage, pushing my body and skinny legs to limits far past what I imagined possible. Boiling it all down to one word, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for those 300s, for the extras chart in the locker room, for cap in the program, for the tour of campus runs, for everything that sucked at the time, but that gave us the grit and guts to finish when things got challenging. Let's go, boys. Looking back to 2010, there were so many tiny moments in one-goal games that could have gone differently. If we miss one ground ball in the NESCAC semis versus Wesleyan, we're not standing up here today. We're not champs. But we are up here. And we are champs. For life. Coach Daly never wavered from his message that when it is all said and done, the relationships are the most important and lasting aspect of what we are doing. We are the lucky few that have solidified those relationships in championship rings and now Hall of Fame status. And for that, I'm thankful to my brothers up here, the entire Tufts lacrosse family, the MFBTs, but most importantly, directly to Coach Daly for instilling such strong values into us and our program, giving us the tools to leave everything better than we found it.
The guys in this program have learned from the alums what it takes in order to win a national championship and how much effort and intensity and focus is necessary in order to get there.
It took years of that culture being instilled, that idea of working hard, that idea of wanting it more to breed success.
You know, this program was not built on talent. In the late 90s, we didn't have any talent, and the only way for us to win games was to out-hustle people, okay, out-ground ball people, out-tough people. We can't fall back on that. That has to be our default. That's got to be from the opening whistle, at practice, and in games. We got to start with the heart, start with the hustle, okay, and then our skills got to supplement that.
Unless you've played in the program, it's hard to understand. Unless you've been a part of it, it's hard to understand. And for me, thinking about somebody from the outside getting that job and trying to replicate that was almost painful. So I felt this sort of paternalistic instinct to protect the program and want to, keep it going in the way that it was.
The culture that we have in place, obviously, it has achieved success, has achieved sustained success, and I think maintaining that culture is one of my primary and foremost jobs as a coach here.
At the end of the day, we want to work hard, we want to be physically and mentally tough, and we want to be grateful. I don't think that that's changed over the course of the last 20 years, and I don't see it changing over the course of the next 20 years.